Hey everyone, Token Dave over here. Dorky Token Black Guy who's just trying to get by. And welcome back to another edition of Token 10, my top 10 list on a particular subject matter. And this Token 10 is part 2 of my favorite lightsaber duels in the movies. Okay? So if you want to know what numbers 6 through 10 are, go to part 1. You can actually just go to the video, like on my playlist, or just click the link down below where I've attached, part 1. So we left off at part 6, so let's start off with number 5. Empire Strikes Back, Luke vs. Vader. I've seen a lot of lists that has this lightsaber battle as number 1, and fair to disagree. Granted, this is an awesome lightsaber battle, but and to top it off, basically, this lightsaber battle is not only decently choreographed, but it's also highly, highly emotional, and it is the first time we've actually seen Luke Skywalker use a lightsaber, against another wielder. Well, another wielder, like an actual wielder, not the test in the cave and everything. So I can understand why a lot of people had this on their number 1, especially since, let's be honest, Empire Strikes Back is the best movie in the whole Star Wars franchise thus far. So that could probably bring it up. And to top it off, let's be honest, if you actually look at this lightsaber battle fairly close, like Mace Windu versus Palpatine, Vader is pretty much using one hand half of the battle, which is pretty freaking awesome, So why is this number 5? Well, quite honestly, as good as it is, it's not as good as some of the other ones. The choreography is decent, and it's highly emotionally charged, but, yeah, when I'm thinking about lightsaber battles, more so, or lightsaber duels, I'm more inclined to, think of, basically the lightsaber duels themselves, not basically having them spaced out to, different, so many different areas, But then again, yeah, I'll just say it's number 5 also because basically the other 4 I think were a lot more enjoyable and a lot more entertaining, Speaking of number 5, speaking of the 4, let's go to number 4. Phantom Menace. Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul. Oh God! Now, my last video I displayed that I have no love lost for this movie. But damn, the battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, that was amazeballs. Okay? Right when basically, it's right after basically Qui-Gon, got killed by Maul, and you see Obi-Wan, in that door panel, hopping up and down, ready to take on Maul. You knew it was on, and damn, basically, the strikes Obi-Wan gave to Maul, standing up to him with that double-edged lightsaber or lightsaber bow staff. Holy crap! The movements both of them did were awesome. Obi-Wan actually able to cut the bow, so that both of them have only one blade against each other, Choreography was awesome. Basically, the entertainment value, the shock value was higher. And to top it off, basically, watching them both go at it was just pure enjoyment. You got your adrenaline pumping and you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, man, that was an awesome battle. That was an awesome scene. Can't deny that. As much as I hate this movie, that lightsaber battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, magnifique. Number 3, Attack of the Clones. Yoda versus Dooku. Okay, this is how I knew who were Star Wars fans and who weren't. When I saw episode 2 in the movie theater, I first saw it in Manhattan, and, when you saw Yoda coming out, everybody was like, oh, shit, oh. I saw episode 2 in the movie theater in the Bronx at the time, which is no longer there, and crowd full of people yet again. And then when Yoda comes out, everyone was like, I'm always like, okay, I knew who were real Star Wars fans. And then right when basically, Yoda basically like used the Force to like, ignite his lightsaber, and then when he jumped at Dooku, I was like, yeah! Watching Christopher Lee and like basically, even though it's CG Yoda, right? Holy crap! Basically the watching them go at it, it's like, yo, this is like freaking a battle on steroids. Basically Yoda moving so fast as well as Dooku moving fast. Basically Yoda doing the flips and Christopher Lee basically with speed and accuracy, basically making sure that he's having a competent battle with, let's be honest, primarily an image that's not in front of him, but still made it so awesome, so convincing. It's like, damn, I was like, yeah! And besides, like, I'll be honest, ever since Empire Strikes Back, I was like, damn, when I saw Yoda lifting the X-Wing out, I'm like, that's badass. And one of the kind of disagreements I had with Isao was like, at the time, he was like, well, it's nice to see, like, it's nice to see how powerful Yoda is. I'm like, what do you mean how powerful Yoda is? Empire Strikes Back proved that. It's like, yeah, but you never really saw what it likes. It was like, you were supposed to let your imagination run wild of how awesome Yoda was with a lightsaber. And my imagination didn't even go that way, but holy crap, that was epic. That was amazing. That was awesome. Definitely number 3 on my list. Okay, guys, we're at the top 2. My 2 favorite lightsaber duels in the whole movie franchise. Number 2, Revenge of the Sith. As amazing as the battle between Dooku and Yoda was, holy crap. Anakin versus Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith. Not only was that well choreographed, not so quick, decently paced out, you really saw, and the emotion was so high. Holy crap. The acrobatics, the sword play, the mix of basically kendo, fencing, and some Kali movements, and to top it off, the acrobatics and the hand-to-hand combats that was there, and the use of the Force. Oh shit, if this is the way you were supposed to end the prequel franchise, with this final battle, and it ended it on such a high, emotional, eye candy pleasing moment that basically, if anyone is a fan of the Star Wars movies, we all know that the prequels had the best lightsaber scenes, and this by far was the best lightsaber scene in the whole prequel. All the prequel movies. As amazing as Phantom Menace was, and as epic as Yoda vs. Dooku was, I did not see anything else topping that. But sure enough, this one did, with much longer, much more appealing to the eye, and much more exciting. This is definitely number 2. So if that's number 2, what is number 1? What is my favorite lightsaber battle scene? Has to come down to this. Of course, it's in the original trilogy, and it's Return of the Jedi, Luke versus Vader. Now, I'm not going to lie, it's not as well choreographed as the previous one, but good God, this is the time where we saw how powerful Luke was, how he learned his lessons from Empire Strikes Back, and when he was fighting Vader, oh, it was off the chain. We saw Vader and Luke going at it back to back, side to side. You know, it seemed fairly equal and everything until Vader himself tried to seduce and tried to manipulate Luke, invoking Leia's name. And right when that happened, oh, good God. You know, that's where it took him. And Luke and Vader going at it like towards the end and everything, and when Luke just like, you know, had Vader on the ropes, like oh, ooh, ooh, you know, you can't top that Luke defeating Vader, ending off the trilogy and the original trilogy and ending with such a high note. To me, definitely Luke versus Vader in Return of the Jedi is my favorite lightsaber duel of the whole movie franchise. So, agree? Disagree? What are your favorite lightsaber battles or your lightsaber duels, actually? Please drop me a comment below, give me a like, follow me on Facebook at Token Dave or on Twitter at Token Dave 80, subscribe, and ring that bell so you know when a new video loads. But until then, this has been Token Dave, the dorky token black guy is just trying to get by. I'll catch all of you later.